So today the topic is sweet and pretty interesting. The topic is childhood, right? So, what did you like to do when you were a child? Let's go back to let's reminisce your old days. What did you like to do when you were a child?
Ma'am, basically,
Around
when I
age of
was
5?
when I was in childhood, I love to dance because in small town areas there is a marriage that is around us, happening around us. So there is a band that is coming. So I would like to dance in uh, that band, and I just want to become a dancer at that time. So my
Mm-hmm.
curiosity towards the goal is that I want to be a good dancer, but my background is from education lines. So they wanted to become uh, they wanted to become uh, in the field of education, they that I can go in the field of education. So that's why uh, I came in Delhi and completed my degree in the field of education. So that was the my first goal
Mm-hmm.
in during the childhood.
Right. Okay. So, were you a good dancer? Do you consider yourself to be a good dancer still, or has your practice been gone?
No, ma'am, I'm not right now a good dancer, but my curiosity today is also that if I get a chance to in the dance field, that I can do better. In free time, I love to dance in the room, in a closed room, when um, when I am alone, that I love to dance on some music. So that is the point.
All right, fair enough. Okay. And what were the other things that you did in your childhood? Were you a notorious child or were you a very innocent kid who did not annoy anyone else?
I am the during childhood I am the naughtiest one. So my grandparents wanted to send me in the hostel, that I can live there, and in the guidance of the teachers and the hostel director, that I can learn. And so I was naughtiest one at that time in my localities. So after a few days, after approximately 10 years old, when I was 10 years old, my grandparents sent me to the hostel that I pursue my primary education there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I become, after that I spent 3 to 4 years in the hostel, and I become the innocent one.
Right. So, apart from that, um, okay, where were you born? What was your hometown, if you don't mind sharing?
Ma'am, basically I was born in a small town. Basically it is basically in Bihar. So there is a lot of children who are like they are the fruit sellers.
Videos can.
Is They are the child of the fruit
Sorry, I
sellers. So
couldn't hear you. Okay, continue.
yes. So basically, I born in a
Yeah.
small town, and there the childrens the fruit say basically at in that small town there is a number of fruit selling childrens are there. So I spent more of time uh, among them. So I was like that. My grandparents wanted to send me in the hostel. I said before. So uh, they wanted to be like that. He should get a good path in the field of education. So they send me in the hostel. So that's why I enter in the hostel.
Right. So you entered in the hostel at a younger age or just like in your college days?
No, ma'am. in younger days, I said at the age of 10 years, when I was 10 years, so I entered in that
At the
college,
age of
and after
10
3 to 4
years.
yes ma'am, and I spent 3 to 4 years there, and then after I came out, and after that I pursue my higher school from there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, fair enough. So, did you enjoy those hostel days or were you sad those entire 4 years?
Ma'am, I said I was very naughty, so a number of friends who taunt me, who beat me a lot, that I cannot.
Oh,
Yes, because my habit was so worst. So they teach me a lot. Those the friends and the seniors also, they beat me a lot, and they taught me that this is not the way that you can talk to the people, talk to the someone there. This is the way that you can talk. So I learned a lot of things from that age in that hostel.
hmm. All right, fair enough. I think, but still, getting beat up is pretty sad. Um, right. So, any regrets from hostel days, or were you like, it's fine, it's a part of life?
No, ma'am. Is it was in few years. I can say in 6 months. During six month, it was a very I suffocation. I like
Mm,
it like suffocation that I cannot live in a jail like ground, because hostel you can just go and read and then come and sleep. So this is the not my the daily routine. Okay, in when I was not in the hostel. So at that time it was 6 months. It was hard for me, but after 6 months is it was very great experience from that hostel.
mm. Right. So, just that period that took you for adjusting there, after that, you were happy. Fair enough.
Yes,
Okay. And all right. So, an interesting question. How old were you when you learned to ride a bicycle?
ma'am. When I enter in the hospital, one boy is there whose name is Rajan. He's the
Hostel. Hospital
yes,
hostel.
he is in the hostel. Okay,
Mm,
so he was the child of principal, and he had a bicycle, and
mm,
he basically went to the other school. So I just make friend made friend to him, and after that I first ride the bicycle at that time.
hmm. Okay. All right. Just a minute. Okay. Right. So since this is a short session, I am wrapping up the discussion here. In the chat section, if you can see, I have noted down your grammatical errors,
Okay.
right? And so one is do not you use basically too many times while you're talking in every sentence, which doesn't give a good impression. So try to avoid using that word over and over again,
Okay.
right? And there are mostly mistakes in tenses. So, for example, I am an engineer, right? Not I engineer, that is incorrect. Am. You eat up words. Then I will just go. You missed out on will, right? So, when you're talking in future reference, you have to use will. Then
Okay.
that causes losses. Yeah, so
Yes.
if you're talking, so this you said loss and it was supposed to be losses. So there are problems in singulars and plurals. A lot of times you're using plurals where you need to use singular and singular where you need to use plurals,
Okay.
right? Same thing you did with impacts. Impacts on the, not impact on the, right? Unemployment is caused due to, not unemployment caused due to. You missed out on is. Then if someone forgets,
Okay.
it should, yeah, so you again said forget, forget, it should have been forgets. Benefited by it. You said something else here. I think you said benefited from that or something. It should have been by. The preposition was wrong.
Okay.
Then when I was a child, not when I child. That's a
Okay.
big error. Okay. Then any marriage, this was, you said something else and it was supposed to be, the word you should have used here was any. So similarly, there are all these mistakes if you can see, right? If you want, you can take a screenshot and beat them up later, right? So yeah, these are not a lot of big errors, but these are errors that mostly you're eating upwards. That's the biggest issue. You tend to eat upon words, so don't do that. Secondly, tenses. Be very mindful where to use past tense, where to use future tense. Not everything works in present tense. Thirdly, singulars and plurals. These are the big mistakes, right?
Okay.
Because if you're using plurals where you're supposed to use singulars and vice versa, it makes the entire sentence structure wrong, right? So these are the important things. Take a screenshot of it if you want. Do not use basically too many times when you're conversing, right? That is it for now, right? So I'm closing the discussion. If you have any further doubts, you can ask.
Ma'am, okay, ma'am. I just prepare for that.
Yeah, you
I,
can work on these things, not very big errors. You just need more practice. Just keep
okay,
conversing
ma'am.
in English and these errors will go away. Try to be mindful of tenses. Start from there.
Okay, ma'am.
Right?
Okay,
If
okay.
you use correct tenses, most of your issues with singulars and plurals will automatically get okay. So be mindful of tenses, right? And do not eat up words.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. All right. So good night to you and tata bye
Good.
bye. Hope
Good
to
night,
see
ma'am.
you soon. Bye
Good
bye.
night, ma'am.
Good night.
क्या बोल दी थी? Nothing.